Hi, I'm Mark Wood. I'm a professional freelance cartoonist and today I'm going to be showing you how to draw cartoons and caricatures. I'm going to draw Phineas from Phineas and Ferb. Basically you want to start from the shape of his face, so if we come out here, basically a bit like a triangle to be honest, you're going to come out sort of straight line but slightly going downwards there, and then you come down here and then you come back up for the mouth, which is just a big smile. So you're going to come out and round, but you want to leave quite a big gap because we've got to fit his teeth and his mouth in later and his tongue and everything. So, and then you come down and to the tiny little bit at the bottom for his neck, and then you're going to come up and then we're going to just do a little bit there for his ear with a little pattern in there. This part of the head is going to go up to where the hair is, so you want to come up and then you want to join it up with the line that you did originally. So you just join it like that, and that's ready for us to do his hair. So his hair is basically just a sort of a spiky shape, so you come off in a few spikes. They don't need to be exact, if they just sort of stick out every which way, 3 on either side really, and come back in. Then we just do a few dots here, and that's basically his hair. Stick the face up, ready for the eyes. Now we're going to put the eyes on. So the eyes are very large, so the first one is going to go over the line that you've drawn for the face, and the second one comes off of that onto the back of the face. So you can only see part of it. And then we're going to just do some little eyebrows above. And then we're going to fill in the pupils in the eyes, so you just do sort of an ovally shape here. And this one, you can only see part of it, so you just do like that. And you colour them in. So you shade them in like this. You leave a little white bit though, which is going to be like the light reflecting off of the pupil. And there you have the eyes. Now we're going to move on to the mouth. So where you left quite a big gap here, we can easily fill the teeth in. So you can bring a straight line down from there. You just literally follow it up to the back of the mouth. And for the bottom one, you come here, but you want to come in, not going up here, because you've got to make room for the tongue. So we just go in there like that. Then you join this bit to there with like a curvy line and a little line there for his tongue. And we shall shade in round it. If you make a mistake with this one, it doesn't matter, because when you're shading in round it, you can just colour over the line that you don't really want. And we've got his face shape there. Moving on to his body, it's nice and simple to do his body. So if we just literally do a couple of lines that come down here and one from there, and you round that off on the bottom, that's going to be his t-shirt. And then we've got a little rectangle, that's going to be shorts, and a couple of little lines, 2 here, 2 there, they're going to be his legs. So if we move back up to the top of his body, you just do a little circle around there, that's the top of his t-shirt. And following this line down, that's going to be the back of the arm of his t-shirt. You come down, so you just thicken that up so we know what one we're working on, and come along and up like that. Now he's got very thin arms that sort of hang down, sort of level with shorts. So if you follow you just do a straight line down, follow that down, and you come into the fingers, which literally if you do one finger, then you know you can do the others because they're just basically all the same. Coming up to the back of the arm, and like that. Thicken that up. The other arm, you can only see part of it, so we're just going to come down like this, and into the t-shirt, and the arm comes down, and in. So there you've got his arms there. Now we just do a few stripes on his t-shirt. So we just do sort of evenly spaced stripes, just minding that bit there, not going over his arm. And you've got the stripes. Now we should move on to the shorts, which we've already got the basic shape of the shorts drawn. So we should just put a line there that separates the legs of the shorts, and we just round them off slightly because otherwise they look a bit square. Put a line there for the crease in the shorts. And by his hand here, you can just see, if I put it in there, you've just got the pocket on his shorts. Now we've already got our legs, so we just follow those down, draw them off on the bottom, so you've got like straight, and we're going to put the feet on. So the feet are nice and easy, they're just like sort of roundy, sort of ovally shaped like that, one there, one there. And you've got a pattern on his trainers. So you've got, this bit's going to be white. This bit sort of represents where his laces go. So just do a couple of lines along there. And that's basically his shoes or trainers. And you just put a little line there, and a little line there, and that is his socks. So there we have Phineas from Phineas and Ferb. I'm going to show you how to draw Ferb from Phineas and Ferb. Basically, if we start with his face, which is probably the easiest thing to do, is start with the outline of his face. So we put a straight line here, and then you want to come up, but you want to come out slightly, which is going to be the shape of his face. And you come along at the top and down. So basically, you've got a rectangle, but it's slightly wider at the top than it is at the bottom. So in this shape that you've drawn, you're going to put, first of all, you're going to put his eyes. So you're going to put one circle here, and you're going to do a larger circle joining this one. So this one is actually going to go outside of the rectangle that you've drawn, and just darken it up. You put in his eyeballs. So you do that, and you do like a circle, shading in the centre but leaving a white patch for the light glinting off the eye, and that's the eyes. Now we move on to the nose. So if the eye that you've just drawn, the larger one of the two, if you just do a line coming off of there and back in towards the face, so just join it on to your sort of rectangular shape. That way you've got his nose. From there, if you come down, but you want to come slightly out on the shape that you've drawn because his lip sort of protrudes. So you come out and then back in for his sort of smile like that. And then the line that you've got here, that one's fine. So going up on the back end, you come up and just lower than where his eyes are, you're going to put a mark like that, which is like a reverse C. And we're just squiggling there for his ear. Then we're going to come up and we're going to do the hair. So you've already got the shape of the face here. And for the hair, it's just like a spiky pattern. So you can sort of come out and round, it comes up. If one bit doesn't quite go where you want it, you can either just leave it there because it is only the hair and it's not all precise anyway. So we just join it up and we go like that. Now we come on to the body. So first of all, we're going to do the collar on his shirt. So you just make the line that you've got for the bottom of his face slightly wider, and you come down and back up and down and back up. It's just like that pattern. So it's basically like a W. Now for his main part of his body, you can just do a normal rectangle this time. It doesn't have to get wider. It's just a normal rectangle off of the collar. Now we shall, on the side, we should just do a couple of lines here, which are going to be his arms. Come there, and on the other side, roughly, so they need to be sort of the same sort of length there. And you just join the bottoms up, which is going to be his shirt, and then you come 2 lines off of there, 2 lines off of here, coming down to his arms, and then we move to his hands. His hands are quite easy. You just do a little line, and that one there, shoot on his thumbs, and in the fingers, just little sausage shapes. You can either do them together or apart, depending on how you want to draw him standing. And you come down. I'm doing them slightly apart, but it's probably a bit easier to do them together, but it just depends on what you would like when you draw it. And anyway, so you've got the body shape here. So we're just going to put the legs on before we fill in the detail. So you're going to put 2 lines there and 2 lines here. And on the bottom of them, you're going to draw a little rectangle like that and a little rectangle like that. What we've got left to do on the bottom here are his ankles, which are sticking out the bottom of his turnips, and his shoes, which you just sort of do that sort of shape. It's nice and easy, and you just come round, making sure that both feet are the same size, otherwise it's going to look a bit odd. and you've got the feet. So if you put a line in the one that you've already just drawn, if you do a line just slightly up from the bottom, that is going to be for the soles on his shoes. And you put a little line on the front, and then we can just shade the shoes in. There we go. Now all we're left really is the detail in his sort of dungaree type thing. So you come up here, and if you come up to nearly where you've drawn his arms, round about, and you come in a little bit. Then if you just do a little V shape, you come back up, so you come in and you've got V there, you go along to the other side, and you've got the shape of the body and the dungarees. Put a circle here, that's one of the buttons on his shirt. And at the top of his sort of dungarees, he has like some squares. So you just do a few squares here. Doesn't matter if they're a little bit further, closer together, further apart, closer together, doesn't really matter. And that's their basic shape. This body here does, where you've drawn a rectangle, looks a little bit square. So as you come down towards the bottom where the legs are, you can just sort of round it out a little bit and round it out there. You come back up and darken up a few lines here and there, and that is how to draw Ferb from Phineas and Ferb. I'm going to draw Perry the platypus from Phineas and Ferb. Perry's very easy to draw. Basically, we're going to start with his body. So if you just do a slightly curved line like that, and you come along straight at the bottom, and then you follow the curvy line up, basically following it on from the other side like that, and then, but you don't want to come up as high as this one, so you come down a little bit lower, and then we come up and join it on. If you've got a little bit there, if you come up a little bit high, it doesn't matter, we can just sort of rub that bit out later on. All we need to do is just get the basic outline of Perry. So once we've drawn the outer shape of his body, we're going to put in the eyes. So we're going to do a big circle there, and you're going to do another circle, but this circle needs to be slightly further over and outside of the body. So you've got the two eyes there. Then we're going to put the pupils in. So inside that you put one there. His eyes actually face in different directions, so you need one over on this side of the eye and the other one over on that side of the eye. If you shade them in, leaving a little bit of white, there and there. That is basically his eyes. Now, to do his like beak, you're going to do a triangle in between his eyes, and from the sort of side of the triangle here, you come out and you put the outer bit of his beak coming out on his face and back in. Just darken that up a little bit so it's easier to see. And because his like beak isn't 100% triangular, we should just round off the edges just to make it look a little bit sort of smoother and a better shape. We're going to now just put a little few lines at the top here for the little bit of hair or fur, or whatever it is that comes off the top of his head. Now we've basically got his face and his body done. So we just need to fill in his arms and his legs and his tail. So starting with his arms, we're going to come down here and you come back up. Got a little line there, and then you just do the end of his hands. He doesn't have any fingers or anything like that, so it's just literally a little shape like that and it's done. And the other arm is coming out from obviously the other side, so you can only see part of it, so you just do the same again, but you just don't draw as much of it. As to his legs, these are very simple. You just need to do a curvy line that comes just slightly off of the bottom of his body and back up. And one here on the other side of his body, that just literally comes out and joins onto the bottom, like that. For his feet, they're webbed on the end, so you want to come out and you just do a little wavy pattern like that, and that is for Perry's webbed feet, and moving on over to this one. You do them like that, just thicken them up slightly, and you've got his feet. For his tail, you want to go to the bottom of the body, and then you're going to come out, and you're going to round it there because you don't want it looking square, and then you're going to come back in sort of a little way up his back, sort of here. If you come up a little high, just do a darker line slightly low so you know where you're working from. And that is his tail. To fill in the pattern on his tail, you're just going to do some straight lines coming from here, like that, and then you go in the opposite direction like that, and there you have Perry the platypus.